The moment of family togetherness during the draft is always a heartwarming story. Similarly, the latest story comes from Eunwoo, a popular actor and idol who is now fulfilling his obligations as a soldier. Although known for appearing calm, warm, and smiling in public, the events of his mother's visit to the military camp made another side of Eunwoo that is rarely seen come to the surface. A deep sadness full of emotion. The story quickly spread, not only among her fans, but also to the international media, highlighting how a simple moment can shake the feelings of a big star. This article will discuss at length about the atmosphere of the meeting, the impact it had on Eunwoo himself, the reaction of the fans, to how the moment became one of the most emotional stories throughout his enlistment journey. That day, the cold weather enveloped the military training area. Hundreds of families of soldiers came, bringing smiles, hugs, and prayers for their sons who were struggling to finish the military service. Among the crowd, a woman who was none other than Eunwoo's mother was seen carrying a simple bag and a smile that she tried to maintain despite her teary eyes. Eunwoo, who at that time was wearing a uniform complete with a typical green beret of the Korean Army, seemed to be standing tall. However, when his eyes caught the figure of the mother, the whole obstinacy that he had been showing in front of his colleagues and seniors slowly collapsed. His smile expands, but his eyes turn red, as if restraining the turmoil of feelings that are difficult to contain. A warm hug ensued. Eunwoo hugged her mother tightly, as if to make up for the months they had spent without being able to see each other. For a moment, the atmosphere around was quiet. Even some of the other soldiers and families who were present also looked down with emotion, watching how a child known as a big star out there turned into a simple child who just wanted to be close to his mother. The warmth of Eunwoo's encounter with his mother in the military seems to be a true portrait of how much a child and a mother sacrifice when distance and duty separate them. Eunwoo, who usually looked confident on stage, now looked fragile, standing as a young soldier who suddenly returned to being a child in front of his mother. The cry that came out of his eyes was not just an expression of longing, but also an overflow of fatigue, heaviness, and a sense of loss that he had been holding in silence. In his mother's arms, all the defenses he had built collapsed, leaving behind the purest honesty. A child's longing for his home. People who witnessed the incident claimed that they could not hold back tears. They see Eunwoo as a real person, not just a celebrity. The glamorous life that had been seen on television suddenly felt far away, replaced by a simple picture of a child who loved his family so much. This is what made the moment so viral, because people felt touched by the honesty of the emotions that radiated clearly. Even some of his fellow soldiers seemed to dissolve in the atmosphere of emotion, giving a pat on Eunwoo's shoulder as a sign of support. After a while, the atmosphere that was originally full of tears changed with a smile. The mother tried to reassure Eunwoo with gentle words. Although it doesn't sound obvious, some people suspect that the mother said to keep Eunwoo strong, so that he would not feel alone, and so that he would be sure that the family always prayed for him every day. Eunwoo nodded slowly, his eyes still red, but his smile reappeared, although it looked forced. But that is precisely what makes people even more moved, because he is trying to calm his mother in the midst of her fragile feelings. The moment continued with Eunwoo holding her mother's hand for a long time, as if time had stopped. They spoke slowly. Occasionally, Eunwoo lowered his head. Occasionally, his mother rubbed his shoulder. Around them, other soldier families were busy chatting, but many secretly turned their heads to watch the scene. There is a sense of community that cannot be described in words. Everyone there knew that, even though they came from different backgrounds, they felt the same thing, a deep longing for family. After the meeting ended, the mother's steps seemed heavy to leave the camp area. He turned his head several times, waving his arms, while Eunwoo stood up trying to smile. However, as soon as his mother turned around completely, Eunwoo lowered his head again, holding back the emotions that had returned. His partner on the side patted him on the shoulder, giving strength without the need for many words. It was a sight that made many in the place even more aware of how much family meant. Even to a star like Eunwoo, on social media, thousands of messages of support flooded Eunwoo's official military account and fan base. Many wrote that they felt like they saw themselves in Eunwoo. A mother's longing, tears and hugs are a universal language that everyone understands. Not a few also said that the moment made them appreciate the presence of parents in life. Some fans even admitted to calling their mother after seeing the news, just to say that they miss and love the mother. International media highlighted this moment with huge headlines. Articles on various portals wrote that Cha Eunwoo managed to show his most sincere humanity. They said that the moment not only touched fans, but also inspired many to appreciate the family more. Photos of Eunwoo in military uniform with teary eyes in his mother's arms were posted on the front pages of entertainment sites in Korea, Japan, America, and Europe. This story serves as a kind of reminder that no matter how high a person reaches, in the end he will return to the arms of his family. Eunwoo, who is known as the perfect face with a brilliant career, in that moment showed that he was also an ordinary human being who needed his mother's affection. Precisely because of the frankness of his emotions, many people love him even more, not only as an artist, but also as a person. In the days following the incident, the news about Eunwoo was still widely discussed. Some fans even create artwork, paintings, and writings inspired by the moment. They immortalized Eunwoo's smile mixed with tears as a symbol of strength born of tenderness. Others wrote an open letter to Eunwoo, saying they would always wait until he returned from the military safely. This moment will obviously always be remembered, not only by Cha Eunwoo and his family, but also by anyone who witnessed or read his story. There is something eternal in that tearful gaze, a story of unconditional love between a mother and her child, which will never fade despite the time and distance separating. After that last hug, the mother's steps were heavy. Everyone could see from the look in his eyes that he was trying to hold back the tears. But a mother always has a way to give her child constancy. The little smile that she maintained until completely exiting the camp area is proof that a mother's affection knows no bounds. Eunwoo looked at him from a distance, with his eyes still teary, but his body still stood firm like a soldier. The sight left many people speechless for a long time. Some rubbed their eyes with a handkerchief, others hugged their own families because they were carried away. As the news spread, Korean media described Eunwoo as a person who brings light but also sadness. He is a big star who has always been adored for his perfect performances, but that day he showed his most human side. Some articles even mentioned that the moment could be a turning point in Eunwoo's emotional journey in the military. Instead of simply doing his duty, he now does it with a stronger spirit and prayer from his family. For Eunwoo himself, the meeting may be a reminder of how precious the time he has with his parents is. He has spent most of his life on stage, filming, and various busy schedules. Family togetherness is often missed. That is why when his mother came, he felt not only missed, but also as if he got back the pieces of life that were lost. Her tears are the simplest and at the same time the most honest explanation of the longing that has accumulated over the years. The international fan reaction was incredible. From Indonesia, the Philippines, to the United States, fans are buzzing about this moment. The hashtag about Cha Eunwoo and his mother was trending on various platforms. Thousands of edited videos featuring snippets of the encounter circulated, each complemented by emotional songs. Some use Korean ballads, others choose soft instrumental music, making it difficult for anyone who watches it to hold back tears.